So, hello, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back in the conference.
Yeah, in 5 minutes.
We're back live streaming right now, and we will start the second half of the day in about 5 minutes. So stay tuned, get connected, and we'll start soon. Also, within these now 4 minutes, you are also allowed, if you want to unmute and talk to each other and maybe talk about several things. It will also be Okay, so we are back live, 1:30 p.m. back. The second part of this Volla Community Days, and I am happy to introduce again Thomas Krüger from our customer support. And maybe Dr. Volla will also say something what we can expect.
Yeah, hello again. So welcome back this afternoon of the third Volla Community Days, the second day. And this afternoon we will start with a presentation about the UBports installer done by a team member, the head of our support, Mr. Krüger. And I'm very happy that he will tell us something about it because we have frequently asked for that option to change the operation system. Okay, and then I'm very happy to say that we have the a contribution regarding this a contribution for, it's interactive. I was surprised. So and then we have a speech for a demonstration about the dual boot manager, and then the general manager of Care IT will have a small presentation. So who has cancelled yesterday's presentation, so we have some insights for protected communication. But now, hello, Mr. Krüger, it's yours.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Dr. Wutzer. Hello all, it's me again, Thomas Krüger. And before I start with the tutorial, I'll give you a preface to the usage of the UBports installer. We recommend the usage of the UBports installer only for very experienced user. Why? Because there are some possibilities now to end up now with a unusable device now, or bricked device. Therefore, be very careful using a UBports installer. I will show your usability of the UBports installer with flashing Volla OS on the Vodafone. Okay. The tutorial you'll see is set up bilingual. Therefore, the German and the English-spoken people has an advantage now using the tutorial. We will show up a link now afterwards now where you can download this information, also the shown presentations now from yesterday. Okay. The prerequisites you have to use is the unlock of the Bootloader and starting starting from the Volla OS, you have to use some steps to be able to unlock the bootloader. Going system preferences, no system advanced about phone, and there is an important thing. If you don't see the item developer options in the menu, you have to tap 7 times on the shown build number, and then you will give the information that you are from now on a developer. You turn back to system and show it the developer options, and enable the OEM unlocking, enable USB debugging. Starting from Ubuntu Touch, it's somehow easier to do this, but there is an important thing you will see on the last line. You start with system settings, about developer mode, and activate the developer mode, but pay attention, the activation is only possible if a PIN or password reset and access protection. If you forget to do this, you are unable to activate the developer mode. In the part 2, I give you an example where you can get the package for installation of the minimal Android debug bridge and the fast boot. It's necessary this package in the operating system Windows and the Mac OS. In any Linux distributions, you will find these options options installed. You begin with starting the Vodaphone in the bootloader mode, and there are two possibilities, starting from Volla OS or starting from Ubuntu Touch. Please carefully look at the recipe how to enter the bootloader mode. When you are in the bootloader mode, shown on the display of the Vodaphone, you can connect your Vodaphone to the PC or to the Mac. The next one is using a terminal or command line on Windows PC to enter the command fastboot flashing unlock. Note, ADB commands are not possible in the bootloader mode, only in the fastboot mode. Confirm the unlock on the device means you have to look up on the display on the Vodaphone and submit the option that you that you want to unlock your device, and end up now with the reboot with fastboot reboot. This slide means only where to find the Ubuntu Touch, especially where to find the UBports installer. Please have a look at the address now in the command line of this browser. As soon as you have installed the UBports installer, it shows up an icon in your menu system, here shown as a menu system on my Linux notebook. It comes up as every other program, in Windows, in Linux, in Mac OS, not special. It's starting up. The next step you have to do is very important. At the moment, the connected device is not recognized automatically. Therefore, you have to select the device manually. And among a lot of devices capable to be installed through the UBports installer with Ubuntu Touch and other operating systems, you will find at the lower list the Vodaphone. You select this and go ahead. The next step is to select the needed operating system. You have the possibility to select Ubuntu Touch, Volla OS, or the Sailfish OS. Note, Sailfish OS means this is a community-driven port for the Vodaphone, and it's other thing with the commercial license of the Sailfish OS. We select Volla OS and have to accept and select the OK button regarding the EULA and user license agreement, normal thing. And it's highly recommended to set the check mark here beside of the TWRP, Team Wind Recovery Project, because now you will immediately need it in the further in the further ongoing of this tutorial. Preparing download means in the background, the UBports installer selects the right operating system you selected slide before, and loads down the necessary files later on to push on your device. And the next is, apologize, the picture is not representing the Vodaphone. It's an example photo. And important is in next step, we have to select the recovery mode on your Vodaphone device. And as soon as you have done, you tap on continue. I show this menu selection shown very, very small on the Vodaphone here, a little bigger to clarify which options you can use. In our case at the moment, now we have to select the recovery mode. Please have a look at an explanation. Volume up to select, volume down for OK. The power key is not in use in this menu. And you select the recovery mode with the volume up button and confirm with the volume down button. And next step is it's very interesting. It starts now with flashing firmware, and in the next step now we have to prepare our system on the Vodaphone to sideload the TeamWin recovery program. And please have a look at information what to select in the next slides, in the next display contents. When you have boot your device in the TWRP, so you have to select first advanced and then ADB sideload, or ADB again Android debug bridge sideload. Place both check marks as shown on the upper part of the screen, and then push the slider at the bottom down to the right side to continue. And in the next step, you will see side loading Volla OS. It's after the push now installed. And there are a few red lines. These are not interesting because it's on my developer Vodaphone. Normally you have no red lines, only white ones. That's an odometer at the bottom. You see the progress, and you end up with a successfully installation of the Volla OS. And again, you have to push the slider to the right side, and then you go ahead with press on the button reboot system, and the reboot now follows automatically as shown here on the slide without user impact. And voila, sideload is complete. Follow the on-screen instructions. It's okay. The next step is afterwards rebooting your selected operating system. In our example, it's the Volla OS on your Vodaphone. And when you get such an solution, then you have done every step right. And the last slide now looks like this. Success. what should I say? Success. You have done a great job on installing your Volla OS on the Volla phone. And if you want to install the Ubuntu Touch or Sailfish OS, the menu and the display in the UB port installers may vary, may slightly different, but in general you have the same steps to do, and you will when you exactly do what's on the screen needed, you will end up in a great solution in your success having installed your installed your operating system. Thank you. Okay, sorry. That's in a short slide presentation how to install different operating systems. If there will be one or more operating systems in the future, we'll see what the future will bring us regarding innovation and something else. But note, the usage of the UB ports installer again is recommended for very experienced users. By the way, we offer the change of the operating system of your Vodaphone as a service, and you can send in your Vodaphone. We will change the operating system as ordered, and you will get back a fully functional Vodaphone with your new operating systems. That's all. I'm at the end. I hope you have some information got, and if there are any questions, ask them yet, or send me a mail to support@volla.online, or chat with me on our Telegram channel. Thank you for attention.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's I think very useful to have this detailed instruction also for further users that will see that video on our YouTube channel later. And I also want to remind that we have an instruction as a download, as a PDF on our download page in the web. So if someone would like to read that. Okay, does someone has questions in the community? So if you have questions, also some remarks, how to improve the UB ports installer, let us know. I think from the UB ports Foundation, it's Jan Sprins who has wrote and who is maintaining that tool mainly. Would appreciate any help or any recommendation how to improve that process. And we are very interested either in improving that process so that some consumers have no problem who failed with that process. So the service is, I think, very cheap. It's €20 plus shipping costs if we should change the operation for you. Unfortunately, we can only change to Volla OS or Ubuntu Touch for a licensing reason. It's not allowed that we flash Sailfish OS because then it would be a commercial use case that is forbidden by the license.
Yeah. So there's one mark that one of our visitors made an issue on GitHub for his suggestion. So thank you for that. That's exactly the best way to do it, to actually made an issue. And also TWRP supports auto-enabling sideloads, so less buttons to press for users.
What is it?
TWRP supports auto-enabling sideload. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. But then TWRP has to be pre-installed.
So if you have any, you can also unmute yourself if you want to contribute and just answer this question without typing. Feel free to unmute yourself and give us a glance at your knowledge.
I should investigate this. If this gives an advantage to the user, I will improve my tutorial and end up now with a comfortable version of this.
So in the chat they say the tutorial says it's recommended the TWRP enable checkbox. So that's
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Okay. So so if you have any questions, also regarding the usage, we have a help page on our homepage, and we hope that we can extend the content. And we have our GitHub channel, project at GitHub/Hello Volla. Most of you are already knowing that, and we have two interesting projects for consumers on GitHub. It's the Ubuntu Touch Beta and Volla OS Beta, and here you can file some bugs. So, but if you have a question, if you have problems with setting up your device, then the best way is to contact our support. That helps our support to answer your question. In particular, it's always required that you tell us which operation system are you currently using and which version, so we can help you properly with a solution.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I guess we're still a little bit ahead of time. So our next speaker would be, let's see,
this will be again our open source community hero, Mr. Panio. And we had a lot of response in the chat and also by the announcements about the dual bootloader. And we received several mass emails from consumer that have been asked for the dual boot option. So it's a great community project. I think it's a little bit tricky to install it. I was for sure successfully to do so with the help of Mr. Panio and a detailed instruction that was online. So I'm very curious what I will hear today. Hello, Mr. Panio, welcome back. You already contributed this morning. Are you ready to present?
Yeah, hello. We will present Android Boot Manager now. About demonstration, I am not actually sure will flash and finish by that time, but I hope so.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine.
So we don't see a screen right now, but I guess you know that.
Second. Let me try to show it again.
There you go. I see a blue screen with Android Boot Manager. But it's not a blue screen.
Ah,
it's a blue
nice.
Screen, right? Okay, there you go.
So Android boot. Firstly, there was no Android boot manager. There was LK second. It was a special second stage bootloader developed by one of post-market OS mainline developers. It was created actually to boot mainline Linux kernels on some Snapdragon devices, Qualcomm based. Because Qualcomm bootloader had a lot of problems with some device tree stuff, so they created that bootloader. It was ported by me to one of my devices. At that time, my main device was Motorola Moto G5. Then we have ported its reboot branch. It was created actually to dual boot mainline and downstream probably, but it wasn't actively developed. It had terrible small menu with bad colors, but we have ported it. Then Nick, known under Nift4 nickname, joined a project. He have created Android app to do installation more easily. And we have even got dual booting different ROMs on Moto G5, but sadly my device died in some experiments. And then Hello World Systems supported us with Vodafones. We both got Vodaphone, and somewhere in probably summer we begin development. And probably somewhere in September even we had first working prototype. We had at that time we have moved to LVGL. It is a Gaia library. It allows to draw different elements on screen and do it in some convenient way. And elements drawn with it looks pretty nice. We have supported Volla OS as main operation system, and you could dual boot it with firstly Ubuntu Touch. It was first OS that we supported. Then we have added support of Sailfish OS. Sadly, currently it is still incomplete, but it exists. Currently we have a lot of problems with moving to new Volla OS 9 because Mediatek have another ARM trusted firmware there, and it actually don't want to work with old kernels. But we hope that we will resolve it somewhere soon. We have dual boot is useful to try alternative operation system without breaking your device. You can use dual boot to boot operation systems from SD card, and that may be good for security reasons. Or for example, you can dual boot few operation systems to have one secure operation system where you can install some untrusted software, and another operation system where you use only known secure software, and you're sure when you booted this operation system that nobody tracks you. Currently, Android Boot Manager have such features as partitioning SD card by app, flashing a bootloader by app. Android Boot Manager have special bootloader, which contains GUI menu to choose operation system you want to boot. It contains file system support. It reads all configuration files from special partition. So at some point probably it will be possible to add a bit more features to modify something you will see in Bootloader. We expect to add auto boot functionalities like timeout. And hopefully we will soon support Volla X. It must not be very hard to port our F4. And we want to add something that will allow to port our dual boot solution easily to other platforms. It is currently called No Bootloader Workaround, because currently Android Boot Manager needs some open source bootloaders that you will modify, but sadly, usually now most phones have proprietary bootloader, and replacing bootloader is usually impossible because of secure boot. You need to sign bootloader with vendor's key, which is of course impossible. Here special thanks to Hello World System, as they provide us with source of bootloader. This bootloader is MediaTek little kernel based bootloader. It is licensed under MIT license, but still most vendors don't care about publishing sources. Currently we support completely Ubuntu Touch and partially Sailfish OS. You can install those operation systems with our Android app. Other operation systems can be installed by only manually, so it can be done only by very experienced users. Currently we have problems that actually to install Android Boot Manager you need root permissions. That can be really somehow work around it, because our app needs to flash bootloader and partition an SD card. Actually, to dual boot on Vodaphone, you need SD card. Of course, it's recommended to use only fast SD cards, because with slow SD card you will have a lot of problems. But if you will use some good, decent SD card, you can get a very good speed, pretty comparable to Volla's eMMC. About presentations, that is it. Hopefully, in some few minutes, I'll be able to show you demo. To save our time, if you want to ask any questions, it is good time now.
Actually, I have a question. So you said that a faster SD card would make a better job. What is fast in your, what is slow and what is fast? Are you talking about UFS 3 or?
Here I am using class 10 UHS 1 Samsung's SD card, and it works pretty well.
Okay.
You have a web page with installation instructions. Is this a web stage still existing?
Sure, I'll send a link. We have our wiki, and there you can find installation instructions. I sent it to chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think it's possible to offer a device with a pre-installed dual bootloader? So because it could be an interesting use case for users, in particular business users, to start their second secure operation system. Do you think it's potentially possible? That would yeah.
It is surely possible, but for that we need collaboration with you, and probably that device will have a bit another partition table, so everything will be flashed internal storage and you won't need SD cards.
Yeah. So, and my question is, so if the dual bootloader is pre-installed, then it might be not necessary to have the device rooted, correct?
Yeah, you won't need root if it is pre-installed.
Yeah. So that's the good news. So yeah, let's. I think that could be an interesting business case for us if we have separated operation systems. Let's
Nice.
investigate.
I'll try to do a demo now.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything will work from first try. I have a Volla OS and Manjaro. So let me try to share my screen. Oh, not screen, of course, stream from camera. Where video settings and demo one. Allow. Ouch, I did it in a wrong way. Second. This. Remove. Let me add. Okay.
So right now we don't see any other screen than your blue screen, I guess. But
Yes.
Okay. In the meantime,
Second,
Mr. Inkinen has a question. Please go. Please ask.
Well, I just was interested if it could be possible to run GSIs with the Android boot manager.
We will, of course, implement this at some point. It must not be hard. Probably, in case of GSIs, you must just edit device 3. It can be done automatically because device 3 are easy to compile and decompile. We already have a DTB patching mechanism.
Yeah, I mean, like Helium GSIs, like for example, we are using Androidian and a GSI image, which is transferred to the data partition and booted from the image file on the data partition.
Got it. You mean something like Helium-based systems?
Helium-based systems in which are actually contained in an image file inside the user data partition. Because currently Droidian is running as in a Droidian is installed as a .img file on the user data partition, and the Halium initial RAM disk searches for that image on the user data partition.
Yeah, I got it. It is pretty similar to Ubuntu Touch. In case of Halium RAM disk, Halium boot, you can specify your system part in CMD line.
So the Android boot manager just boots another boot image. Is that the case?
Android boot manager actually currently installs system like that. It extracts a boot image, and in special partition it stores config, kernel image, device tree, and RAM disk. And when you choose it in boot menu, it boots it from that partition.
Okay, so it stores the boot image, Halium boot image on the SD card.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this should. I think we should discuss this at some point, because it could be interesting to have, for example, Droidian running like as one of the options. It will also make the developing easier, because I think it would be nice to have other operating systems running at the same phone, not having to reset the phone all of the time.
Yeah, I can look in Droidian a bit later.
Yes.
Currently, sorry for technical there are technical troubles. Probably I must reload a page. So I'll leave for some second.
Yeah, that's okay for us. So in the meantime, was this question already answered? There was a question that the SD card could be copied easily, sure, but maybe Luca's already listening again. If there's also a backup solution for the complete dual boot AVM setup, so is there a way to like copy the whole thing onto somewhere and to have a backup in that way?
Excuse me?
There was a question in the chat that, of course, the SD card could be copied easily, but the question was, is there also a backup solution for the complete dual boot AVM setup?
Actually, it is possible to do SD card backup easily. That's true.
Yeah, but can you also like copy the whole AVM setup, which is, I guess, concluding the internal and the external?
I mean, sure, do you have such option now? But even if you don't have it, it's easy to implement it.
Okay, nice.
Is my camera finally up or still broken?
No, your camera is not up, I guess. No.
Ouch.
Now we see your screen.
Ouch, my screen. Okay, and in this way, do you see a Vodaphone?
No.
Ouch. What do you see then?
We see the last slide. It says thanks.
Ouch. Probably it is still a presentation.
I think it is not. The NIFT 4 should stop presenting that, so Luca can share.
The presentation comes from NIFT, from Nick.
Ah, okay. So Nick was presenting.
And so he has to left the presentation.
Yeah. He did.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
No, jetzt steht schon, oder? Ah, jetzt ist bei Ihnen.
Okay, is that good now?
Yeah, I can see a Vodaphone right now on your screen.
So this is Android boot manager boot menu. Here we have Volla OS and Manjaro IRM. Let's firstly take a quick overview of menus. We have problem currently with some locks. Hopefully we'll resolve it soon. So we have extras menu. Currently it is under development. We have special boot option, some small about. It is still to write something there.
Now we again see nothing shared.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it is my internet or...
Yeah, it says connection lost on your side somehow.
Ouch. Actually, what can I try? Maybe...
Yeah. Maybe he just hit the power button of his notebook or PC. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please, well, ask him if you want, because Luca is, well, it's not too bad that you're struggling a little bit with the technique. We are also improving our appearance and all the technical stuff on our side, so that's okay for now. No worries.
So it may be not a question, but I wanted to say that starting from Android 10 and Android 11, Android supports dynamic partitions, which is like LVM, but Google's own implementation. And you have out-of-box solution to put GSIs from developer's menu without losing your data. I think this is something that could be utilized by Android Boot Manager as well, maybe on next generation Volla device, and it would help us to avoid repartitioning basically, since we can just create virtual partitions and use the block map for them. So we can dynamically get some space from user data and create virtual partitions basically.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Luca, we see the telephone again. Hurry up.
Okay. So let's go back here. Settings are currently missing. There is nothing there. In special boot, there is option to boot fast boot, recovery, and do normal boot. But currently we will boot Volla OS. It is usual Volla OS 9, nothing special. About dynamic partition, yeah, I know that Google introduced that. It can be used to avoid repartition and SD card at all. But actually that's something that allows you to boot, to install GSI from developer options probably won't help us at all, because it's using same kernel as your main ROM, I believe.
Yes, that's correct. So basically you need some solution to also read kernels or boot images from the stored dynamic partitions.
Yeah, and that may be problematic. I do not know any bootloaders that have currently support of dynamic partition. So as you can see, Volla OS is booting or may be booted. Here it is booted, but maybe our stream is laggy.
We can see it.
Yeah, so it is usual Volla OS 9. And let's now reboot.
So regarding previous topic of bootloader and dynamic partitions, I think you do not need to implement full dynamic partition support in bootloader. You can just do some kind of a list of blocks file. You locate it from bootloader and use it to get the boot images by blocks.
Actually, it may be an interesting idea. I'll need to try once I have one device with dynamic partition in here, but didn't try anything there yet.
Okay, so the screen went out again.
Ouch.
But I love that you blur out your own root words.
So you can't see Vodaphone anymore, yeah?
I can't see, and I'm in the conference. I guess everyone else also can't see the Vodafone right now.
Yeah, probably my internet is too bad. I'm really sorry about those technical difficulties.
I guess that's okay. Are there any questions so far in the chat or personally? If you want to unmute, and you can also talk with Luca about this. But I guess we all saw that the dual boot is possible, and he's working on it, and it's getting better and better. And also highly appreciated the question about the complete dual boot backup, which should be possible somehow. So what Luca said.
Yeah, and I think it's a would be very useful if we have the second system on the device itself. So maybe the second system is faster. And but in any case, there was some question from, I think, Mr. Ikinen and a suggestion if there's an option that switching the operation system is faster than rebooting the system using the menu to switch the operation system. Is that possible?
Now the internet died.
Yes, we're back.
Now I guess internet from Luca died.
Okay, so that would be, I think, a good idea. We applied for a research project that has a similar idea with a base system that runs in a container, further operation system that are separated. But the idea is to switch faster between that operation system. The one that is for a business use case, the second one is for a private use case, maybe a third one for gaming or whatever. So it's for security issues, but also if you need some different operation system at all, because Android has a built-in features for different users. But to separate the systems completely is, I think, the better choice. For security reasons.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Luca is still having some issues with his, but that doesn't work with Android, says Nift. Also, Jose is saying something that kernel offers XX subsystem that offers the load of a new kernel version without reboot, and it can be used to load a different OS if needed without full reboot. Yeah, so that's okay.
Wow.
Well, I can reply to that a bit, that even if you load new kernel through kexec, it will be approximately the same speed as rebooting the device and letting the bootloader load new kernel. I think it will be, how to say, it's a bit more problematic because kexec does not fully restart hardware, and you need to modify kernel to boot from this not completely clean state.
So if you have a use case or where you would like to run switch between operation systems, the best way is to run that two operation systems at once, so you can quickly change. So you have two containers, for instance. But
yes, but then there are other downsides, like maybe more higher resources used and so on.
yeah, it has a high energy consumption. And there's also a decision which hardware resources one container will keep, or so the other is not able to use it.
Okay, so Luca, do you want to have one more try and share the screen, or are you thinking that your internet is just not, it's not the day of your internet?
Sadly, it is not a day of my internet. Usually, after trying to start a stream, everything got so bad that I even can't have any voice chat anymore.
Okay, okay.
Is there a video that is published about the bootloader?
Excuse me?
Is there any video you refer to with a demonstration of the bootloader?
No, but I can do one.
Okay. That would be cool if you just share a link or something like this inside of our community chat.
Yeah, and
So
we can distribute it in our channels
genau.
for interested users.
So the people can see what it is. That would be perfect. That's a nice way.
Okay, I'll do this probably today later or maybe tomorrow.
No worries.
No worries. We have to update to Volla OS 10, that has priority. And thank you also to Nick, maybe he's also online. Thank you very much for...
Yeah, surely he's here.
Yeah.
He's here, of course.
Hello.
Yeah.
So that's maybe Mr. Vogt is already online.
Yeah.
And so we can use that additional time to have that contribution to our community days that was cancelled yesterday. So hello, Mr. Vogt, thank you very much that you found time. I was informed that you was very busy last week, so I appreciate that you find time for our Volla community days. So Care IT is one of our partners, a reseller of the Vodaphone, and also offers additional services. I think, Mr. Vogt, you will introduce yourself and your company, and you announced something about protected communication. And yesterday we had a very interesting presentation about phishing and password cracking attacks. And I think it will be interesting what you have to tell us today, maybe a sneak preview or overview about that topic. Hello again, so and welcome. So in Deutsch, herzlich willkommen, dass Sie Zeit gefunden haben, an den Volla Community Days etwas vorzutragen. Und besonders weiß ich, dass Sie sehr beschäftigt sind mit Ihrem Unternehmen. Und das ist deswegen ganz besonders, dass Sie heute dabei sind. Ich glaube, Ihr Schwerpunkt ist Sicherheit, in diesem Rahmen auch Produkte, Dienstleistungen und Beratung zur Verfügung zu stellen. Deswegen leite ich jetzt zu Ihnen über, wo Sie ein bisschen uns vorstellen. Hallo.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm very happy to join this conference here. And I want to introduce you a security solution which we created, and a short explanation to my company. We are based in the south of Germany, near Stuttgart. And in the past, we did mainly technical things for big companies like Lidl, Deichmann, Tchibo. But things have changed, and we had to completely change the targets in the portfolio of our company. So we decided to go into IT security, and therefore we created a solution called Sita, which is Care IT Aporitos. And Aporitos is from the Greek language for confidential. And that's what I want to show you today. And hopefully the internet is not going to die again, and you can see everything, and I will try to share my desktop now for the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So
we see a picture of the office where we want to be.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a picture. So let me start. So yeah, as I already said, secure communication is the mainly thing of our company, by the side of selling ordinary hardware, servers, networking, and all this stuff. But it is very important, especially in regards of what happens with spying out your computers, especially under the operating system Microsoft Windows. We also started to change over to Linux, and are also recommending this to our customers. And yeah, a while ago we created Sita, and the first thing, what is Sita? I mean, it's a artificial created name, but it's a solution that people can communicate securely worldwide. So it's not tied to any hardware or whatever. You can use every hardware, which you can use by your daily work, and with the connection to the internet in every country. We also have special hardware devices, which I came later to it. They're working in hot, humid, and dusty environments. But the main thing is that you can send and receive encrypted messages and data in a secure manner, so that no one can spy out your data. It is very often that you are in these situations where a secure communication is necessary, especially for people working in the architecture sector, or when they're working in the mission sector. They have to be sure, missionary sector, so they have to be sure that no one is hacking in their communication. I mean, we're in difficult situations at the moment where religious freedom, secure communication is very difficult. We are absolutely, and I say this here clearly, we are absolutely not a friend of Google, Facebook, Instagram. We rejected all these social portals from our company. And we are really interested in going forward to find solutions, alternative solutions, that the customer is not going to be spied out. I mean, I don't have to tell you about what Google is doing, that they send all the data from a smartphone continuously to their servers, and often you really don't know anything about it. With the Sita communication solution, we created this with also normal standard products, like you will see later with our offer for secure Nexcloud. So it is very flexible, upgradable. You can start with a basic encrypted email solution, go further to this Nexcloud solution, and also next step for virtual private network and all these things. With smartphones at the moment, yeah, we're using, we received a Volla phone yesterday. when I still cleaned up all my network with the server problems we had, I saw in the conference that Volla has the new phone X now. This is of course really of really interest for us, because we have also RUTCH solutions for Sita, and also at the moment we're looking forward to become a reseller of the Fairphone, which we also like in regards of selling also refurbished hardware, that with a Fairphone you can change all modules like camera, battery, screen, and all this stuff. Google free operating systems, we played around in the beginning with Lineage OS, also tried to install Lineage OS on some phones, and found out it is very difficult because of the blockage from the boot manager of the most devices, like from Samsung. We had success with some Samsung Galaxy phones, but the Volla phone, of course, is really good because it is already pre-installed. For our customers, we offer our Care IT laboratory, where they get informations and solution and tricks how to use the Google free smartphone, because it makes no sense when you have a Google free smartphone that you run apps on it which use Google, like YouTube or Facebook, or so they get. We're going to test every Saturday. We have a so-called Saturday tip, where we also test Linux versions or Windows stuff for them, just to make their equipment more secure. And at the moment, we're doing this with an ordinary Telegram group, only available in German, but we are looking for solutions to make something like a blog or like a forum to offer the customers a better access. Then, of course, we give installation support for the smartphones we're selling, but I have to say we are not selling ordinary smartphones. I think there are other companies and also supermarkets where people can buy ordinary smartphones. So we just sell with the special, how do you say this, with the special add-on. For the smartphones, of course, we're also looking for individual accessories, also in regards of RUTCH versions, that the devices are IP67 or whatever conform, or that you can protect them by a case or whatever for dust of water and dust. As I said, we tried it with a Samsung Galaxy phone. It was very difficult, and we dropped this solution because it's also too much time involved to get a system up and running for a customer. The Volla phone, yes, very good, pre-installed. The people can use it from the first second without any problems. It's like other Android devices. They're familiar with it, so they just have to start with it. Fairphone, as I said, yes, we're waiting for that. And the important thing is, with the mobile devices, we want to give the customers the opportunity to exchange their data in an absolutely secure manner. So now, how does this email security works? We're using a software which enables end-to-end encryption. This means that the encryption is made on the device, not in a cloud or on foreign servers or whatever. You don't need any knowledge of these servers. You just have to write your email and send it, and the receiver, if he is already with this solution, can receive your email. We and also the mail provider have absolutely no access to the email. We also have no access to the passwords. So if the customer is going to lose the passwords, all his emails are gone. We can't do anything against it, or we can't do anything to restore them. Yeah, the encryption takes place on the device, and also the decryption on the receiver side for PC, tablets, and smartphones. This solution is compliant after the DSGVO. What is in English the data security? I mean, you understand what I mean with DSGVO. So they're going after this norm. The servers for this are located in Germany. And the provider and we were offering various apps for the encryption, like you have an Outlook plugin, because Microsoft Office is still the most common Office system. You have also a Windows app, which you can download from the provider or from the Windows Store if you want. And of course, it works in a web browser. So in every operating system, you can use your browser like Firefox, Opera, of course, if you want Chrome, to have access to your email account. The interface is available in German and English, and it offers also two-factor authentication. So this makes it much more, even more secure than if you're just going to log in to your account. You don't have to worry anything about the settings in the firewall. So everything is organized. As I said, you only have to write your email, send it, and the receiver gets it, and he can send it back to you. It works with the SSL TLS encryption, which is also a common format of encryption. And because you don't have to worry, I mean, in the beginning with secure email, you had to create your own certificates and you had to keep them updated and all these things. This is all be done by the provider. So are there already any questions to this point?
We had one question. So the Sita is more than just one module, but it's more like a solution that connects several services to one secure solution. Is that right?
That's right. So Sita is the main name for the solution, and then we have this extra sub-modules like Sita E for email security, Sita N for a secured Nexcloud, and so it's a modular build system, and the customer has the opportunity to upgrade it for his needs. So as I said later, of course, also we can create with our partner who is also offering this email security, that we're going to create a special VPN connection just from your device to this Nexcloud, so that it is absolutely secure and no one can sniff into this connection or whatsoever.
Okay. Are you hosting that solution, or do you offer the whole solution on premise for corporations?
The email security, it's a solution from where we are a partner, but the Nexcloud solution in the next step, we're going to offer this on our own servers.
So it's a kind of extension of Nexcloud. that is the environment for our your solution?
It's an ordinary solution, but we're going to create it in conjunction with the email security for the customer. We're going to create it, as you will see on a later slide. We're going to create it with his name. We're going to set up everything for him, and also if he, for example, wants to have a SSL certificates, we're going to set this up, and so he can choose via us a standard product, but we are going to they're going to build it for his needs.
Sorry to ask again. So is your system based on Nexcloud? Because I know that there are several extensions available for Nexcloud that includes a calendar, an address book extension, and even there's a communication solution for corporations or organizations that is based on Nexcloud. So does your solution Sita is using Nexcloud as an extension?
No.
No, okay, it's completely independent.
Yeah, it's independent. It's not included. I understand now. It's not included like in Nexcloud apps.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe in a further step, but it's the same with. We are really people who like Thunderbird instead of Outlook, but for Thunderbird there is not yet a plugin for this email security. Maybe there are people around or in the conference who are able to develop a plugin for this solution. So they are very welcome to get in contact with us and with this provider to develop this solution, this plugin.
Okay, so how is Sita related to Nexcloud then?
It's related just that the Sita is the basic system, and then you can have also the Nexcloud system, and in the next step we can go to we come to the hardened systems, where you're running an operating system completely independent on your device. So I think the best is I go forward with the slides.
Yeah, sure. Okay, you have further slides. Yeah, go on, go ahead. Yeah.
And if you just have question, just say stop and.
Okay. Okay.
So here you will see again the sender sends his email. It will be encrypted, and the receiver gets the email then completely in a secure way. So here comes now with the secured cloud. We're going to install this Nexcloud on our servers with his special name, whatever he wants, as a subdomain. We're offering HTTPS and SSL certificates. The secure cloud is, of course, very good for CalDAV synchronization, so your contacts and your calendar entries. Like, I mean, we made this mistake in the past and had our contacts with Google. So I'm absolutely happy not doing this anymore, because this is a much more secure way to keep your data safe. Then via VPN, as I said, via our provider, you can have this optional. We're offering various tariffs, like with the basic, you will get 10 gigabytes of storage, but you can get even more, of course. And there, the servers are located in the US, where we have our provider. And the email security and the Nexcloud is very much of interest with the hardened system we're offering. We're offering this system on the system Tails. I think a lot of people know the system. So where you can move around in the internet securely, and because you're leaving no traces of your identity, Tails runs completely self-sufficiently on your PC or laptop, and it stores absolutely no data on your local PC or laptop or whatever, if you don't want it. So if the Sita H system falls into wrong hands, it is not possible for these people to restore your data in any way. I mean, we even tested it so far that if you are in a critical situation and you have to prevent your system for getting hacked, you just pull out the USB stick and the system is shutting down immediately, and no data are available after reboot. And of course, we're offering this open source system with all our hardware solutions, like normal PC, laptops, and our RUTCH devices, which you will see in the next slide, which are very good for when you're using them in RUTCH areas. So in hot, humidity, or dusty environments. So we're talking there about from degrees Celsius from minus 30 up to 80 degrees, and the normal laptop works from, let me say, minus 15, 20 to whatever, 40 degrees. So we offering here the so-called systems RUTCH, which is IP65 capable. It's also secured after military standards, so it survives drops out of 1.5 meters or higher. It's very funny. We showed this to the customer, drop the tablet on the ground, and nothing happens. They are also with special Gorilla Glass equipped, and they offering, of course, all the necessary communication devices that you can have access to the internet in every country. Yesterday, also I heard about the Vollafone X. This is, of course, very much of interest for us, because I think the Volla X is IP67 or even higher, and maybe the Vollafone is also after military standard. I don't know. I have no information already about this, but we are really looking forward to get more information about this phone, which fits perfectly in our portfolio. Also, of course, we're offering additional services. When you buy one of these hardened devices, we're giving you a special training of safety training. Especially, it is very important how to stay safe on the internet, even when you're not using Tails, that you don't give out your names, your date of birth, your phone number or whatever, that you every time have to be every time careful which data you're presenting on the internet. We're offering also on-site security service for all our products, that we're going to check people's DSL access. We're checking their hardware and software for the latest updates. We're going to install them secure systems like Linux, and we also help them to synchronize their data also in a secure way. As a further step, of course, we give them advice on, for example, which provider they can use, which mobile phone provider. Also, relatively new is with the SAT DSL, and also if they want to communicate secure over the internet with voice, it's also voice over IP. And it is planned for the Sita H that we're going to offer an international express exchange if there is any problem with the devices, and the customers are really in need of these devices to just be sure that they get an exchange device as soon as possible. So are there any more questions?
So I see that there's one question from Jose Pekarinen. He asks, would Sita consider to use or implement GPG encryption backend that would empower users to use smart carded keys?
Smart carded keys. I think we can't. We don't have access to the way of how they're doing their encryption and decryption. That runs all on their servers. So I'm not sure, but this person can send me an email, and I will find this out for him.
Can some explain, rephrase it?
Yeah, or Jose, Mr. Pekarinen, maybe you can explain what you exactly mean to help a little bit. That would be also great.
Sure, absolutely. Currently, if you want to develop some sort of encryption solution for email, the most common thing is like you will simply take some sort of GPG keys that you can put in one key like this one that I'm just showing in the screen, and use this GPG key for encrypting the email and send that over the line. That's a conventional one that usually requires people to have some sort of knowledge about what is GPG, what is a key, what the power of that key can actually have. For what I understand from these slides, it seems like this system is basically using OpenSSL for encryption, which is valid. You will have your certificates or public certificates, and then the private keys that are going to be stored in somewhere in the client side that it's going to be doing the final encryption. However, OpenSSL itself, it's not something that you can put into an external device in your computer itself. You have the certificates, your keys, it's going to be stored in your disk. And if you want to apply any extra security, there is no such a thing as a smart card where you can put the key of that certificate itself. So would it be interesting for Sita to do some sort of backend for GPG so that you can put these kind of extra measures to your encryption?
As I said, that's what we have to find out, because the email security solution is a standard product from a company where we are a reseller of it. So we have no access to change anything in there. But as I offered, just send me an email, please, and we can find out though there is any possibility to change this for other in another way.
I see. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. I have problems here now with the camera.
Now you hear me. We're talking about the Vodafone X. Here it is again, so that you see it again in a close-up shot. Like, this is really rugged.
It's IP68.
Mm-hmm.
Water and It's has a 6,200 milliampere hour battery, so it will last quite a long time. And it's a little bit heavier for sure, therefore it is robust. And on the bottom side, you see that the USB access is protected by the additional cover to protect the device. It has nice specifications. It has a dual cam, a processor, and so it's strong enough for the application users need for daily life. And my question maybe is also for you: what can you do for the mobile devices? Do you install an additional Sita software for the customers, or do you provide an additional client for secure communication?
The connection before it was really bad. So, but as I understand, we are going to offer it on other devices. Yes, of course, you can use it on a standard device. You can use it in a browser. You can use it via the plugin. You can use it via the Windows app. So that's no problem.
So you have a kind of app that you provide for your whole solution.
No, not for the whole solution. It's a combination of different modules to get packed in one solution. We have this solution from our email security provider with the offered apps from him and possibilities to send and receive encrypted emails, and then we're going to pack onto this our other solutions, and also then the hardened solution, and then it comes to a point where it really makes sense when you, for example, using the RUTCH devices for email security and having access to secure Nexcloud, and you can be really sure if the device is getting into hands and they are not allowed to have this data, that they are safe, so that they can't spy them out. And that's the important thing of it. That's the point where we want to come, that people can be sure that their data is safe.
So it's a combination of a service, devices, and a bundle of apps and a setup.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah.
For the rest of us, which secure communication do you or can you recommend? Do you think Signal, Threema, or Talks or whatever is a good choice for secure communication?
That's a good point. I mean, there are so many messengers out now. I mean, we already said goodbye to WhatsApp. We're using Telegram, but for the company, for internal communication, we are only using Signal. We know some people using Threema, and but I think Signal and Threema, they're mostly pretty the same. But there are also other messengers out there which I received even from my son. He sent me a new. Just a second. I have to check something. I'll be back in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime, are there any questions from the audience again, or in the chat, or also to our fellow watchers on the YouTube channel? You can also use the live chat and ask questions. We also keep an eye on that. So if you want anything, you can also ask.
and also recommend. So if you have also knowledge about secure communication and you are a listener to that community day, it's a community day, so feel free to raise your hand and to comment with your recommendations. I have also another question. So for us, we are thinking about a kind of Volla hub as a kind of device, a software combination to help people to get the convenience of a cloud, but with that they control, so a different approach. Did you have done some research in a distributed encrypted edge computing? So we are also the Definity, for instance, is an interesting solution. The benefit is that of distributed cloud is that it's harder for someone outside to force access to the data or to steal the data, and it could also be very economic. And also it could help you to save your data in a completely different meaning. So if your hardware is lost or broken, then you can recover your data by a distributed approach. So again, have you done some research in distributed edge computing like Definity, or there's also a nice project out that is called Qubit. So it's a device in a distributed cloud.
Did you get the question?
What was the question to me?
Yeah, because you are
Okay.
your communication, and my question is, did you have done some investigation in distributed encrypted edge computing? For me, it seems to be a benefit if you don't have centralized data center for several reasons. One reason is that the data center can't be forced to give access to the data, or it's harder to get the whole data if it's distributed. And the second thing is a kind of data security, that it can be restored if your data center or your device is broken. So you find such approaches with Definity. Or this is definity.org, I think, or a project like Qubit. So the question is, did you investigate in distributed encrypted edge computing, and do you think it's a benefit for secure communication?
I mean, we constantly keep an eye on this, and our target, of course, is that we're going to offer our own computer, our own servers. But at the moment, we're just using the server storage from our provider. So we're in a process where we have to find out what is the best and also, of course, affordable solution for us and the customer.
Okay.
But, we are very interested in this, of course. Like I understand if the data center is down or if they have problems with the servers, I mean the data is gone. I mean what he can do is the data will be backed up every day, every 24 hours. But I mean, of course, it can happen, and if the customer has really sensitive data, I mean, he maybe needs that the data is saved every 6 hours, every hour, or whatsoever. I mean, it depends on the needs of the customer.
Did someone of the audience have experience with Definity or similar approaches? Do you think it's ready to use it for solutions? Maybe someone is. But I don't want to ask all the questions. Is so interesting, and it's I think it's very worth what you offer. So it's a high value your service to help enterprises to get their data and communication protected. Yeah, this is the so-called internet computer. It's also maybe someone heard about it. I think this is a very interesting approach for the future. Communication also to resources. Maybe the Gaia X project is a little bit too ambitious, but so far I know it has the same idea to have a virtual cloud for Europe that is secure and independent from the US cloud and cloud services that are mainly used today. Okay, some more questions or comments from the audience?
For now, no more questions.
Okay.
That's it. So thank you so much, Mr. Vogt, for having us and also for presenting this nice topic, which is quite interesting in every way. And we hope to provide you soon with your Vodafone X, because those rugged devices seems to be something that you're really up to. And maybe you have heard, but you get also, as a speaker, you get one of those Volla stands that have been created with our Volla logo and where you can put your Vodafone into, and also charge it with a 90 degrees cable. So if you just reach out via email, you can just tell us the color you want. You can have black or white, or even a specific color if you want to, and we will get you one.
Okay, so thank you very much for being in this conference and talking about our solutions. And we are really looking forward to get more deeper into the cooperation with Vodafone and to get the internet much more secure. So thank you very much.
That's a nice approach. Thank you. Move on with our next, and the next speaker would be Dr. Volla himself, I guess.
Yeah, so it's about the contribution to our projects. So internally, we have this major two projects that are currently public. It's the Volla OS for the Vodaphone or Vodafones, and also Ubuntu Touch. So, and if you know someone who wants to contribute to our project, let us know. So we are looking for freelancers that can help us to improve the system and to go the next steps. We have, I think we have several developer resources. The main resource is for external developers is the GitHub. We are reorganizing our repositories, our internal repositories, to be able to publish more from the Volla OS, so that also if you're just someone, a community developer, you can build the Volla OS on your own. I think it's already possible that you build your own Ubuntu Touch for sure, because that is already, everything is open sourced. I think you find in our repository from GitHub /Hello Volla also the resources you need to port another operation system with the Halium approach. So how can you contribute as a developer? So as soon we have published the whole source code of Volla OS, you're invited to help us to improve security, but also the usability of the Volla OS. Next steps, as I said yesterday, are, for instance, that we include a backup solution. Thank you very much for the recommendations to reuse some backup solutions that are out. I think it was a recommendation to use the one of Lineage OS or some others. For the Volla launcher, it's still open sourced. So maybe your contribution is welcome to add further channels, communication channels for our collections, but also further features, functions for the Springboard, in particular the text field that should process much more input in the future. It's also welcome if you don't be a developer, but you could support us to help us to support the Volla user interface for more languages. Hopefully the developer from, I think it was from Emirates, who presented a left to right support, right to left, it's the opposite direction, and we can include that. So such things are also welcome, and also translations. So our launcher is developed in Qt QML, and there are some language files, and every time the user interface is updated, so also the existing languages need to be updated. And so yesterday our colleague Jose Becerrinen said that he is happy to help us with Spanish. So maybe we find again some other French people, Swedish people who help us to complete and review this. We also can need some help if you would like to help us to translate the manuals. We usually have some raw automized translation, and if you can help us to improve it if you are a native speaker, because the automized translation is not the best in some languages. So this is also how you can help us, and we are happy to send you a reward for some contribution like translations, and for sure if you want to work as a freelancer, then we negotiate about your fee that we pay. Also students are very welcome if you join us for an internship or something like that. So the resources are GitHub/Hello Volla, and we have a specific Telegram channel, dev_Volla, to discuss the very specific questions that consumers on the Volla user channel are not interested in. So thank you very much. Now my question is, did someone face the hackathon channel? If so, then I would be very happy and very curious to see a presentation. Maybe it can be a concept, maybe it can be even a prototype. You have improved in the last 2 days your idea that you had before and you started before, it's also fine.
Okay, we have 2 people for now that made something. Nick says, I did a fully working thing and a concept. So there are definitely some people wanting the Vodafone X.
Yeah.
Nick, feel free to present what you did. We are very, very nervous about what you did. Just a second, okay. And also Mike, Mimic, he said that he also did something.
Okay. So who will start? Who is ready? Maybe?
Nick says just a second. He prepared a few slides. So let's see. Maybe if you need more than just a few seconds, we can also go on with the second one that did something, just like you want. So Mimic or Mike or my mic, whatever this is, if you want to share, you can also do it if you're ready. We see one presentation, and this is from, who is this? The Key Listen Demon. It's from Nick, I guess, yes. Okay, Nick, go ahead.
Well, hi Dan. Yeah. Sorry for my bad English at the start. Yeah. I did some daemon for the task to start an app when you press on the fingerprint sensor under Ubuntu Touch. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. That's perfect. We hear you. And also, if you, I guess your normal language would be German, I guess.
Yeah.
If you also want to speak German, you're also welcome. I can translate in the middle. Also ich kann das auch zwischendurch übersetzen, wenn du magst. Du kannst auch gerne so Deutsch sprechen, gar kein Thema.
Ja. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't care. I can speak English too. Just my pronunciation is really
Okay, perfect.
bad.
Good, cool.
Well, I first go to an overview and then I can show how it works on my Vodaphone. First of all, it's a simple daemon written in C. It works due to the fact. Never mind, I speak German. Er funktioniert dadurch, dass der Fingerabdrucksensor vom Vollafon, wenn man drauf tippt, aber auch wenn man hin und her swiped, Events abgibt. So, er registriert sich beim System als Tastatur und drückt zum Beispiel für Tippen F11. Und ich habe meinen Daemon geschrieben, um halt nach diesen Tastendrücken nur vom Fingerabdrucksensor darauf halt zu warten und dann startet man eine App. Im Beispiel habe ich jetzt das Telefon als Beispiel genommen. Und man kann ihn installieren. Man braucht dazu keine Root, man braucht auch kein beschreibbares rootfs, man muss nur 2 Dateien runterladen und es starten. Ich habe das jetzt in der Präsentation beschrieben, die tue ich dann später noch irgendwo hochladen, dann kann man das selber mal ausprobieren. Die Vorteile, so wie ich es gemacht habe, sind, dass es sehr wenig CPU verbraucht, weil die meiste Zeit wartet es nur auf, dass jemand die Tastatur drückt und macht 0% CPU. Es sind 77 Zeilen C-Code, also ist relativ simpel. Man kann auch mehrere unterschiedliche Aktionen machen, zum Beispiel nach rechts wischen, öffnet Kontakte und tippen, öffnet Telefon. Es tut, wenn der läuft, auch nichts kaputt machen, also entsperren und sowas geht auch immer noch. Ja. Ich schaue dann mal, dass ich das Demo-Video teile. So.
So you shared the link. Hast du den Link irgendwo geteilt in der Gruppe oder hier im Chat, oder? Did you share the link?
Ich würde gerade den Bildschirm nochmal teilen.
Okay.
Einen Moment. Das braucht immer einen Moment, jedes Bildschirm teilen. So. Ich habe jetzt da drin, wie typisch. Ich teile dann einfach den Link, weil ich habe das Video, ich habe es vergessen, wo ich es hatte, dann kann sie sich da selber anschauen. Das ist aber auch nichts Spektakuläres. Das ist einfach eine Bildschirmaufnahme, wo sich das Telefon von selber öffnet. Ja.
Okay. Du kannst auch die Links, die du gerade gezeigt hattest, zum Runterladen der Dateien gerne auch in den Developer-Chat oder sowas reinhauen. Maybe you can also share the links that you show in the developer-Chat.
Yeah, I just sharing my slides. The links are embedded, and yeah.
Ah, okay.
Ja, großartig. Wenn wir das Video haben, können wir das ja auch zeigen. Gleich mal eben.
Ja, genau, deswegen. Also wenn
Ich habe eine andere Idee. Ich benutze einfach ganz kurz meine Kamera. Ich muss sie nur rausholen.
Perfekt.
So sollte das passen. Fehler beim Zugriff auf die Kamera. Ist ja wunderbar.
Ja.
Sieht man das Vollafon? So?
Ja, sehen wir.
Ist ein bisschen blöd, aber...
Okay, so now we will see a live demonstration of what he did for those who didn't read and just listened to German and didn't understand it quite well.
You see, the dialer is not in the app drawer. However, when I tap on the fingerprint sensor, it just opens.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm impressed. So, yeah, I'm very happy that you have that step. Very happy, including me, that we have that prototype and demonstration.
Very good, sehr gut. Vielen, vielen Dank. Thank you so much for contributing your work power and do something really, really nice. I am impressed, and I guess Dr. Woods is also quite impressed.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that.
I'm just putting the GitHub link in the chat here in Jitsi, and I'm uploading the slides now.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks very much. Some questions or some comments from the audience?
So let's check. I mean, most of the people don't want to unmute themselves and talk that much, but maybe raise your hand if you think that this is a really nice idea. Okay, some hands are coming up.
Okay, so let's have a look at the other contribution. It was Mike, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Okay, to be honest, I didn't work on this feature just this weekend, but I worked on it a few months ago, but then I forgot about that and leave it around. And these community days were the opportunity for me to work again on this feature. And it is a redesign of the storage page in the Ubuntu Touch settings apps. So I can share with you my screen and have a demonstration of what I did.
Yeah, sure.
Just a moment. So, do you see my screen now?
Yeah, we see a screen.
Okay, so this was the old settings page, and you can see that the categories were not very precise. There is this yellow section that is other files that is quite big for me, and it doesn't say anything useful about it. And also the apps below, you just see which app takes space, but you couldn't do anything about it. So now I can, this is running on my phone. Oops. And I added a bunch of new categories. So, for example, the Mbox installation is a new category because it is quite important and big usage on the disk. And also I added categories about space used by other partition that cannot be used in any way by the users. So, for example, cache partition or other Android stuff, and this is the first one. And also I improved the app below. You can tap on each app and see what takes up space for each app, if the config of the app, the data, or the cache, and you can select what you want to clear, and there is a button here to clear with this confirmation pop-up, and you can even uninstall an app, and when you uninstall an app you can choose if you want to keep all data of that app, delete all data, or choose if you want to delete cache, for example, but keep data. And the last feature is you can select more than one app, and for example these apps, and I can clear, and there will be a list with the app I chose, and I can choose configuration files, app data, or cache, and I can clear for all the apps I selected previously. And this is what I did. Yeah. If you have any question about something.
Okay, thank you. That looks really nice, actually.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting because I was missing the opportunity in Ubuntu Touch to remove the user data. So, and sometimes it makes sense that you remove not only deinstall an app and reinstall it to solve some issues. It's also important to remove the data itself and also the cache. And
yes,
I think it's very useful.
Yeah, also because the current option to uninstall apps from the open store will keep all the data of the apps and will just uninstall it. Yes.
Yes, and there's also maybe it comes up in my head I think it's in macOS. It's a feature if you would like to tidy up your disk, then you have the option that you can find the largest file or the largest app something that is occupying space. I think it goes in that direction if you would like to clean up, also to find the most
Yeah, of course there is still a lot of things that could be improved. I implemented only few things because the already existing code was very basic and you could do almost nothing. But yeah, I agree that there is a lot of room for improvements on this.
Perfect. And yeah, it's a project you're working several months on that, and you have worked also on that weekend on that project. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I worked on about a week some months ago, but then I left it around and I took it back again this weekend, yes, and I finished some feature and completed some things that were missing.
How can users benefit from your project? Is that something that needs to be part of the operation system, or is it an extension that can be somehow provided by the open store? What is your idea?
I plan to make a merge request for the system settings apps so that with the next update every users can have it. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thank
you very
you.
much.
So Nick, you said you have another concept. Let's
Yeah,
hear.
I was finished with.
But
the
wait,
other thing.
you're still very, no, this was just because Mike was so loud. Mike, you're still presenting the screen. If you would stop presenting, then we could hear.
Oops, sorry.
On here it's still presenting. I don't know why. No, it's still presenting somehow.
Sorry, I'm having some problem.
Maybe the other option would be that you just leave just for a second. I guess. Then
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Nick, your chance.
Yeah, I was finished with the fingerprint thing yesterday, and I decided to start with something else, just as a concept, not fully working like this one. I also did special care, so I'd consider my daemon not only a prototype, but something that can be used on actual user phones. Yeah, and there was this task on the blog to add support for extra squills in the Volla launcher. And I figured out that it is necessary to load them from another app or another file. And therefore I made some code in C++ to load plugins from dynamic libraries. It's pretty simple to use. The part of the GitHub repo I sent is the plugin manager C is the main thing, and the other things are like examples how to use. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, perfect. So that sounds very interesting. I'm very happy that you took some of the challenges of our blog because this is on our agenda and will improve the usability and user experience.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's see your votes. What do you think? First, raise your hand if you think that the projects that Nick presented have the right for the first place in our hackathon. I hope that's not a bad internet connection. So let me see if there's one hand. Okay, maybe I'll wait just a second more. Please again, raise your hand if you think that Nick's participation was the best. Okay, now please take your hands down and raise your hand if you think that the participation from Mike was the best. Okay, so we have a one-on-one.
If we have this about the same level, let's ask the participants what they would like to have. So I think we can be generous and say it's a decision of the participants which device they would like to have.
Nick, what are you up to? Willst du lieber ein Vodafone X oder ein normales Vodafone haben?
Wir haben sogar noch ein weißes, wenn das gewünscht ist.
Also, wenn ich mir aussuchen dürfte, würde ich das X nehmen, einfach weil ich das normale schon habe, aber mit dem normalen bin ich auch super zufrieden.
Gut, dann nehmen wir das X.
Mike, what is your suggestion? What would you want to have?
The Vodaphone X is a really interesting device, so that would be my first choose, but also the other one is fine.
Okay, so give us just a few seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I guess I throw myself in front of you to check, and Dr. Wurzer can announce the winner of the Vodafones.
Yeah, so we had two prizes, and thank you very much for spending time. And so we follow your choice. You have said you would prefer a Vodafone X, and then you should receive one. I think we need the address from at least one of you. So please send us a message for info@volla.online where we can send the device.
Yeah.
I think give us a note which operation system you would like to have pre-installed.
Yeah.
I think for Mike it's clear. It's Ubuntu Touch.
Yeah.
But we would need some time to make sure current Ubuntu Touch runs on Vodafone X before.
It will take some time. Thank you very much, Mr. Okrenkov. So it will take some time as you would receive the device, because currently it's an early beta. What we have shown with Ubuntu Touch, and so it as I announced the shipping date, and maybe I am pretty sure that you can receive your Vodaphone X earlier, but it will take a time until we are ready.
So when the first batch is ready, you will get your phones. And just to make sure, Nick and Mike, you will both get a Vodaphone X. That's what we decided, because you both have the normal Vodaphone, and you will both get a Vodaphone X.
So it's also on Mike. If you would like to get it earlier, then it's your choice to send an email. So what we can provide, in the next couple of days would be a regular Vodaphone, and the Vodaphone X would come then maybe the end of July. Let's see. What do you think, Mr. Okrenkov?
Yeah, it can be earlier, but we need to just figure out how to build Android 9 BSP for the Vodafone X. That should be easy.
So
we can send some kind of early build, which may need to be refreshed, but I'm pretty sure you can figure out.
Yeah. So it's already ambitious that we say we want to ship it in August, but I think it's realistic. Do you agree, Mr. Okrenkov? August?
So I never make promises.
So I think August.
Currently the network is bad and it's stuttering, so I don't get a word.
Okay, is it still like that, or is it getting better right now? Can you hear us? Still stuttering? Yes, now, okay. Yes, now the connection is better again. It's okay on my side. Okay, maybe that's something that Nick experienced right now. His internet connection was maybe also quite nervous that he now gets the Vodaphone X.
Yeah, on Vodaphone X, we said that the shipping date is in August. because you have already the regular Vodaphone. I think it worth to wait. And for Mike, you can wait, or you can, if you get earlier the regular Vodaphone, you could even have a white one. And my question for Mr. Okrenkov was if he can confirm that it's realistic to have it in August.
Yeah, I think it will be earlier than August, but I would say June, July.
Yeah.
Just for prototype, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very happy about that. And all the other partitions, maybe which are still online, send us our presentation. So we are pleased and would be appreciate if you grant us the right to link it in our blog or our download size, so people that didn't have the time to join the conference can read it afterwards.
Yeah, sure.
So thank you very much again and for joining the conference. And yeah, so hopefully we will see us next year.
Yeah.
No one knows. Maybe we can see us in person hier in Remscheid. So herzlichen Dank auch für alle deutschen Teilnehmer, die hier bei der Community Days dabei waren. Nächstes Jahr sehen wir uns hoffentlich wieder. Vielleicht sogar, niemand kann es sagen, hier dann auch in Remscheid. Vielleicht auch wieder gemischt, sodass wir an einem Tisch sitzen und diskutieren und arbeiten können. Nevertheless, I'm very happy about these results and that lively community that have been grown in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I wish you a nice rest of the weekend. Enjoy the nice spring weather. Clouds come, but I think the next weather forecast in Germany is over 20 degrees. So
seems like
spring.
It's getting summer again.
Ja, endlich ist es Frühling auch hier in Deutschland.
Ja.
Die Sonne scheint wieder.
Ja.
Und tatsächlich im Mai, ich habe es niemals erlebt, ich kann mich kaum erinnern, wir hatten Schnee. So we had snow in May here in Remscheid. And it's not used to be so. So maybe in Finland, I don't know.
Yeah. So also from my side, thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you also to the YouTube community that was there and that was watching us. It was a pleasure. And if you have any sales requests or marketing requests or things that you want to share, just contact me either directly, or I am also watching the Instagram, the Mastodon, and also the Facebook, and also the YouTube stuff. So I am the social part of the Volla Systems team, we are still have a nice focus on privacy and security, but we do need those channels to keep contact to our target group.
If you have a question in person on Telegram, please write at Mark Aurel. So that's my nickname there, M_Aurel.
Yeah,
for Marcus Aurelius, the big philosopher.
Yeah. And also we are both updating our Vodaphone the day through. We're tapping the reset button, the refresh button all the time, because we are all knowing that the update is coming soon. So please watch out for the intermediate update of Volla OS 9, which is preparing the final update for our Volla OS 10, where we are all curious about if it's happening within the next few weeks.
Okay, thank you very much, and have a nice day then. Goodbye.
Bye.